Good morning, viewers. It's Rob Atfield reporting for Port Carling Boats. It's Saturday, April the 29th, 2017, and it's kind of an exciting day for wooden boat enthusiasts. This is the annual date for the spring tour of boat shops in Muskoka, Ontario. We're at Curtis Hillman's shop here, looking at quite a lovely old Chris Craft hardtop cruiser. We don't have too many details on this boat. Curtis has left a bit of information here on the sheet, advising us that the owner bought this particular boat from a Kijiji site. Heaven forbid. We have now put on a new deck, rails, and an entire hardtop. Other than that, than the roof itself. The sides have also been cleaned up and made to shine. And then Curtis says, a cool note, you can steer and control with gears from the back seat for those slow cruising outings. Let's see if we can get above the decks here. Wow. Wow, isn't that charming? A basic cruiser. My guess the vintage would be 1940s, but we'll try and check that with Curtis in a moment or two. But hasn't he done a great cleanup job? Very utilitarian vessel. Good party boat. Beautiful job. Curtis is certainly a very well-respected restorer in Muskoka. We're looking here, viewers, at an apparent 1946 Seabird, fully restored 45 years ago by the owner, and it's come back to Kurt's shop for a hardtop work. Curtis says he was only able to save 4 boards of the original top, and there's currently 2 coats of paint on it and 3 coats of varnish. Splash rails are also being extended to stop spray at the back seat. Another glorious old boat. Nice tumble home at the stern here, the transom. Looks like she's pretty solid. What a living piece of history. Looks like she could use some refinishing inside as well. I hear these boats can be somewhat noisier, which makes sense given the hardtop and the reverberation from the engine off the roof. Great old boat. There's a final view, viewers, of the hardtop sedan here. We're going to flip around and take a look at this Greavette, sorry. Just pulled this boat in earlier, Curtis says, for some TLC. A few issues with the side and bottom planking that need attention, and he'll add 2 coats of varnish. This would be a 50s, would it? Would you? Probably a 50s, Curtis says. Big old flathead 6-cylinder engine.
Kurt, when you started, you were a lot smaller than this, weren't you?
Oh, you're saying I'm fat?
No, but did you always have it?
The boat in our viewfinder here, viewers, is a 1906 Toronto Boat Works vessel. She's been given a new bottom, and the sides are currently being built up with 2 more coats of paint to go, I guess, and varnish. And the deck and coamings have been top coated with fresh varnish with 1 more coat to go. Apparently the boat has a canvas top that goes on to cover the passengers, and on the bench apparently it says there's a bit of history on the boat provided by the owner. I wonder if we can see that. Doesn't seem to be here at the moment. This would be a displacement hull, of course, and a tiny Buchanan midget engine. Isn't that something? graceful old beauty. We're continuing our tour here at Stan Hunter's, folks, in Milford Bay along Lake Muskoka. Stan had a pretty disastrous fire some months ago. He started the process of restoration. It's going to have a new enhanced facility here with better insulation and running water and so on. So Stan tells me he's going to be about 1 more month from now. He expects to be more or less fully operational. Now Stan's Muskoka launch livery is still in operation, so he's got 6 Duke Playmates on tap. Let's take a quick look at his fleet. In case you weren't aware of it, folks, Stan and Crossley Hunter operate Muskoka launch livery. They're the only shop in town, anywhere that I know of actually, that actually rents out wooden boats. And you can discuss the options with Stan and Crossley. But these boats are modestly powered, they're safe and easy to operate, and they're just a treat to be on the water with. And in the shop here you can see, in the boathouse rather, you can see 5 or 6 Playmates. And these will be in action, of course, in the summer of 2017, and probably even late spring. Anyway, if you've never been in a Duke Playmate, put it on your bucket list. The next stop on our tour this morning, viewers, is Brackley Boats here in Greavette, Ontario. Paul's usually got a number of interesting projects on the go. Let's check it out. Well, we're certainly not disappointed, viewers, to be inside Paul's shop here. We're looking at a boat by the name of Senga, a 1936 Ditchburn, a gentleman's sedan launch. It's a 35-foot boat, an absolutely magnificent piece of mahogany excellence. This boat's come back from the United States, apparently. Owner's taken good care of her. She was originally, or pardon me, recently, apparently powered by 2 diesel engines, which turned out to be smoky and noisy. So my understanding is that these engines are going to be replaced with 2 4-cylinder marine engines. I think they're Merc engines, if I remember correctly. One of the amazing features of this boat is the height of the sedan top. Even a tall person could probably stand up in this boat without needing to bend. Which was a nice feature. And apparently some neat touches have been added. Electric windows, even though they have the cranks, you can press a button apparently and these windows will go up and down automatically. And there's a wine cooler apparently that has a special hidden key to open it up. Perfect cabin for inclement weather. And a nice open cockpit at the rear of the vessel. This is a pretty spectacular boat. Not too many of these babies were produced, for sure. The other boat in Paul's shop here, viewers, is Miss Maven B-Haven 2. Oh, Miss B-Haven. Sorry, it took me a minute. She's a 1963 Duke 21-foot utility. Looks like she's in for some cosmetics. Here's an interesting feature. I haven't noticed too many Dukes with the interior sidewalls done with mahogany, I presume mahogany ply sheeting. And of course, that's not all that's been done to this boat. There's a monster 320 Mercruiser 6.2 liter engine in this boat. My goodness. She's going to fly when she's finished. Hope it doesn't shake her apart. Very attractive boat. We're in Mike Windsor's shop, viewers, in Greavette, Ontario, continuing with our spring boat tour in Muskoka. Mike has created this disappearing propeller boat himself from scratch. It's a brand new boat, apparently. And if that's the case, it's absolutely magnificent. I must admit, it doesn't look like a brand new build because of some of the stain on the seating here, but we'll have to check that out with Mike. But certainly it looks like a little Dippy singles cylinder engine, probably the original. No reverse on these, of course. We're looking here, viewers, at a 27-foot Clive Brown. Looks like 1920s vintage. In for some major work by the look of her. Grand old lady. She's had some restorative work done on her, judging by the floorboards here, but apparently is in need of some other work. She'd certainly benefit from a revarnishing. Engines have been removed. Engine has been removed. Hardware could use a rechroming too. And Mike confirms that this is not, in fact, a new build. It's a 1948 Greavette, disappearing propeller boat. The other boat in Mike's shop is this amazing Shepherd twin-engine runabout. She looks to me to be probably a 22-footer, maybe? 24-footer, actually, probably. Not sure what Mike's done to her. He's certainly been doing some refinishing. This is Conspiracy. Boy, Shepherds are certainly known for their beamy, heavy water characteristics. This boat would probably handle the Great Lakes as long as you weren't in a huge storm. Let's climb up here and take a better look. Ample seating capacity. Twin engines, of course, so the instrumentation is double. Dashboard mounted throttles on the right there. Two fairly mammoth looking engines below us. I can just imagine the throbbing of those engines as she gets underway. Another great old classic.